alaikum. In this video, I'm going to talk about, as the name of the video says, I'm going to talk about my Japanese language learning timeline, okay? I don't really remember when exactly I started learning the language, and I said before that I restarted learning the language like a few times, I think maybe 3 times or something. So I don't really remember the details of that. So I'm going to talk about this now, okay? Okay. So before I start, I used to watch a lot of language learning videos as entertainment. So I have interest in many languages. That's why when I started learning Japanese, it wasn't really official learning. It was just me watching videos for entertainment. I really did that a lot. I even did that with other languages, a lot of languages. So I like doing that. So as I said, I started many times and stopped, but this time, this specific time was like 2017 or 2018. Let's say it's 2018 because I can't really pinpoint which year, okay? So this is from 2018 to 2020, okay? This is the first official time I am learning the language, okay? As I said, I learned on and off, and it wasn't linear. So that's why, even though this was like 3 years or something, I am still a beginner. So you would expect me to be fluent at this point, but I'm not, okay? So I consider this to be the official time I started learning the language, and anything before that was just maybe just an interest, a casual interest, like and watching videos for casually and reading resources casually. Like, it wasn't really official. So because I as I said, watched a lot of stuff and just read a lot of resources as entertainment, it made me really make a system in my mind. Like, I know that this resource is good for that specific thing, and I can complete that resource with others. So it's a build-up, like, I wouldn't be able to have the system that I am having now if I didn't already start many times and discovered a lot of resources and tried a lot of things. The resources I used are Japanese from Zero, the free video playlist they have, and Punipuni, which is an educational website and YouTube channel that's educational for kids, but I use resources like that a lot, so it doesn't really matter if it's resources for kids or not. I use that regardless, okay? And Japanese Pot 101 and my Japanese apps on my phone. So these are the resources that I still use to this day, and I will continue using, okay? But that was also the resources that I used then. The system I had is the same one I am using right now, but this is not as organized as now, okay? So here, this one is for the main lessons, like grammar and everything else. Like the main lesson, I would watch a video, for example, and write down notes. Or if it's a website, like for example, I like to read the Punipuni website. If there is extra notes or something, or extra vocabulary, I would also add everything here. So this is my main notebook that I write notes down into. Okay, I'll show you just a quick look. Okay, so the thing is, before I started learning grammar, I already know all the kana, hiragana and katakana, and I already started kanji. That's why when I add notes from the Japanese from Zero series, I um I write my notes in kana, even though they don't really do that. They teach you kana progressively, but I don't really like that. So I write my notes in kana already. So it's really good exercise to make my handwriting better, and because I already know that all the kana, so I don't need I don't need to do that, and I don't really like that. Okay. So this is an example of how I use each resource for each thing. For example, I don't get to learn a lot of vocabulary from Japanese from Zero videos, but I use that for grammar and a lot of examples and a lot of phrases and stuff like that. And to learn vocabulary, I use Punipuni, or Punipuni is also good for grammar. And to learn more vocabulary, I use the applications, the Japanese applications I have. I also learn kanji. So because I already discovered many resources, I know what resource is good for what exactly, especially because I am using free resources. I am pretty sure there are a lot of vocabulary in the Japanese from Zero books. I'm pretty sure of that. I'm just talking about the free stuff, like the Japanese from Zero playlist they have on their free playlist they have on their channel. So, as I said, I use this for grammar, okay, and everything else that is not kanji or vocabulary. So this is mainly for grammar. So I use this to write vocabulary, like for example, days of the week, and just colors and just random stuff. Okay, I wrote here, this was in 2019, so this was used in 2019. Okay, as I said, all of this was through 2018 to 2020, so you will find stuff that are just random. So that type of paper is used to write math, like graphs and stuff like that. So I used it to practice writing in blocks, like you practice writing kanji in blocks or kana in blocks. But I later printed the actual worksheets that are used to practice the characters. These are the practice worksheets that I downloaded from some link. I don't think that link is still available. Okay, so I printed this later. I printed this like in 2019. I didn't get to use it until now. So this was just some random things. And here, so to learn kanji, okay, I do like separate things. Like there is the kanji you learn, like each character and what they mean and what and how to pronounce it. to pronounce them, and there are the words, vocabulary you learn. So what I do is when I learn new phrases or things like that, when I learn things in this notebook, I write it down again here. But if there is a word that has a kanji, I write the kanji down here, okay? For like this, for example. All of these are examples and phrases from my grammar lessons. I also add, I used to add these kanjis to the Anki app I used to use, the one with the orange logo. I know it's not really the official Anki app, but it's I think it's just a copy of it, but it was free then. I don't think it's free anymore, or maybe it's free, but some features are not free. I don't really know. I don't use it anymore. So I used to add the kanji I learn there. Okay, so this I used this to learn kanji. So because my learning wasn't really linear, it was like on and off, as I said many times. So there are stuff that I reused and stuff that I wrote down again, but more organized. So that's that. This one was for the kanji itself. So this was more for phrases and vocabulary, and this one was specifically for each kanji, like each one and their meaning and things like that. So I skipped a lot of the things I wrote down in this because I used this for multiple things. So I'm just giving you a quick look on how messy my studies were, like really messy. I don't really like the way I wrote down things. Here are examples. Anyway, this was also for kanji, but this was more organized than this one, okay? I don't really, this was really at the very beginning, but when I started taking things more seriously, I started doing more organized things. So that was the first time I officially learned the language, okay? So that was 2018 through 2020, and I stopped for a long time, okay? Now, this one here was like a transition, okay? So I started with this one in 2020. I stopped learning the language for like a few months, and maybe half a year or something, because this was also 2020, okay? So I really wanted to restart again because yeah, I wasn't really productive, and I forgot a lot of information that I already learned. So even though I consider this like a restart to my language learning experience, I don't really consider it a main restarting point, because the difference between the previous learning period and this one isn't really much, like a few months in between. So it's not a big of a difference that I make that big of a distinction between that period of time and that period of time. Anyway, I consider this a restart, but not really, okay? Not an official restart, because I think there is not really much gap between that one and this one. So this was in 2020. I rewrote everything from that notebook and rewatched all the videos. So this is just like a copy of that, but it's more organized. Like, for example, like this. It's more organized, and I don't know. I feel like it's more organized, and but I maybe at the end of 2020 or at the beginning of 21 or something, I stopped completely, like completely stopped. It was like it was 3 years ago, okay? So 3 years ago, it's maybe 2022. I can't really remember exactly, but around that time, I stopped learning completely, like completely learning anything. So that's why I didn't finish copying my notes here. So that's the end of that period of time. So I stopped learning the language for 3 years or something, for a long time, really, really long time, okay? So what about now? Okay, I restarted officially. This is what I considered an official restart of learning the language. I started in 2025, which is this year. Okay, it's the 10th of December, so the year is already at the end. But at the beginning of this year, I started relearning the language. So what I do now is I'm not going to rewrite every note I wrote before, because I think this is the most organized version I have. So I will keep doing that. Like I will keep rewriting my old notes into this one. So this is mainly for grammar, okay? As I said, because this one is mainly for grammar and the main lessons, this too is the same because it's a copy of the old notes, okay? So this is exactly the same. I also add extra notes if I think I need more explanation. Because I am restarting in 2025, I am adding all sort of things, like anything that I want. For example, like this, for example, stuff I add. You will only notice if you look closely, like things that are obviously added later. So even though this notebook is from 22, I am adding some notes in 2025. Okay, and I am going to continue copying my old notes, as I said. Okay. Okay, so this is for grammar, and this is the new one for kanji and vocabulary and that kind of stuff, like okay, this one is for topic-based studies. For example, it could be vocabulary and random stuff. For example, introducing myself, or telling a story, or maybe the lyrics of a song or something. So I keep this for extra stuff that are not lessons, okay? So that's it. So these are the notebooks I have for my current Japanese language studies. one for the mainly for the main lessons and the grammar, and the second one is for vocabulary and kanji, and the third one is for just topic based studies, like any topic I want, anything I am interested in, I just look words up and try to write about it for to be able to talk about it later. So I will talk later in more details about the whole process of actually learning the language, because this video is just about the timeline, okay? It's not really about the actual studies, but it's so I am going to make another video for that later. So see you later.